The email arrived on a Tuesday, buried between a CVS coupon and a LinkedIn notification. The subject line read, "You don't know me, but I know your son." Elena's coffee cup stopped halfway to her lips. Her son, Leo, had been dead for 3 years. She clicked open the message with a hand that had suddenly forgotten how to be steady. "Dear Mrs. Alvarez," the email began. "My name is Sam. I was with Leo when he died. I'm the one who held his hand." Elena read that line 17 times. Then she threw up in her kitchen sink. For 36 months, Elena had lived inside a specific kind of hell. The kind where grief doesn't knock, it simply moves in, unpacks its bags, and redecorates every room of your life. She had been told that Leo died quickly. A car accident. Black ice. The paramedics said he never felt a thing. That lie had been her only comfort. Now, a stranger was writing to tell her the truth. And the truth, as it turned out, had been riding shotgun beside her son on a frozen February night. Sam wrote that he had been a senior at the same university as Leo. They weren't friends, exactly, more like parallel lives that intersected occasionally at the campus coffee shop where Sam worked. Leo always ordered a lavender latte with oat milk. Sam always pretended not to watch him walk away. "I was driving home from my night shift," Sam's email continued. "I saw his headlights veer. By the time I pulled over, his car was already crumpled against the guardrail. He was conscious. He was scared. And he asked for you." Elena's laptop screen blurred. She wiped her eyes with the sleeve of her sweater, the same grey cardigan Leo had bought her for Mother's Day 3 years before he died. "He told me to tell you that he was sorry about the argument. He said you were right about everything. And then he asked if I would stay. So I stayed. I climbed through the broken window, and I held his hand, and I told him stories to keep him awake. I told him about the time I tried to impress a guy by making creme brulee and set off my dorm's fire alarm. He laughed. He actually laughed, with blood on his teeth." Elena pressed her palm flat against her chest, as if she could physically hold her heart inside her ribcage. "He talked about you for 47 minutes. He told me about the mole on your neck that you hate, but that he always thought looked like a tiny continent. He told me about the way you sing off-key in the car on purpose to make him cringe. He told me that you were the strongest person he knew, and that he was sorry he wouldn't get to be there for you." The email went on. Sam described the sound of the ambulance sirens in the distance. The way Leo's grip weakened. The last thing he said, which was not dramatic or poetic or anything from a movie. He said, "Tell my mom I left my window open. She'll know what that means." Elena closed her laptop. She walked to Leo's bedroom, still untouched, still frozen in time like a museum exhibit of a life that had been interrupted. His bed was made. His sneakers were still lined up by the closet. And his window. His window was open. It had been open since February 14th, 3 years ago. She had never been able to close it. Every time she tried, her hand stopped at the latch, and she would tell herself, "Tomorrow. I'll close it tomorrow." She had told herself that life for 1096 days. Elena sat on the edge of Leo's bed and pulled out her phone. She typed a reply to Sam before she could talk herself out of it. "Tell me everything. Please. And tell me where you are." Sam wrote back within 2 minutes. He lived 3 hours away. He had been carrying Leo's final words for 3 years, unsure if it was his place to reach out. Unsure if Elena would want to know that her son had been conscious. That he had been afraid. That a stranger had been the one to hold his hand while he died. "I think about him every day," Sam wrote. "I never told anyone this, but after that night, I started ordering lavender lattes. I hate lavender. But I drink them anyway, because it feels like keeping him alive. Elena laughed through her tears. It was an ugly, broken sound, the first laugh she had produced since the funeral. She typed back, "Drive here tomorrow. I'll make you a lavender latte. And Sam. Thank you for staying." The next morning, Elena did something she hadn't done in 3 years. She walked to Leo's window. She touched the cold glass. And then, with both hands, she pulled it shut. The latch clicked. The room grew quiet. And for the first time since her son's heart stopped beating on a frozen highway, Elena Alvarez stopped being just a mother who had lost a child. She became a mother who had finally been told the truth. Somewhere, 3 hours away, a boy who drank lattes he hated was driving toward her with a pocket full of borrowed memories. And somewhere else, somewhere beyond black ice and guardrails and February nights, Leo smiled. Because he had kept his promise after all. He had made sure his mother knew she was loved until the very last second. And maybe, just maybe, that was enough to finally close the window.